Started on our new ETRO University session on tracking, excavation, and shoring. Luca, take it away.
Okay, thanks everyone for joining in. I just wanted to touch base today on excavation and shoring, and some of you guys might already be doing this, but just wanted to give you sort of something I've used in the past that's helped me ensure our excavations come in on time, and shoring contractors are carrying out what they're supposed to be doing as well. So we'll review today 3 topics: conventional tracking, how we do it usually day to day, and then getting into the excavation and shoring tracking that I've been using for the last few years in my career here. So conventional tracking, so everyone's used to showing up on the job site, having a look at the hole, seeing some soil being moved, talking to the superintendent, maybe discussing with the trades project manager. Excavation contractors are really good at making themselves look busy, but not really accomplishing much in a day or a week. And it's tough to track that unless we're measuring against tangibles or actual numbers and volumes. So what I've done in the past is, understand the scope of work, clean soil versus contaminated. It's good to know that for tracking costs, as well as ensuring the contractor is removing what they're supposed to. Volume to be excavated. So obviously knowing that contractors bid with an in situ volume, but when we truck off site, obviously the volume is fluffed up to probably 20%, in excess of 20% sometimes. So it's good to keep that in mind when we're tracking. I track based on the trucked off volume. Whatever way you guys want to use it, it's up to you. And then what I'll show is a chart next, but gathering weekly updates. So I used to every Friday or Monday talk to the superintendent, talk to the contractor, get their volumes, put it on a chart. So I was able to see how far behind or ahead we were week to week to ensure we're on target to meet our end date for the crane going up, the formworker starting, etc. And then we discussed schedule with site staff and trade contractors. So through on-site meetings, formal emails, and ultimately, if it was required, notice of delay. It's tough to issue a notice of delay unless you guys know where we're at week to week, month to month. So here's a chart I've used in the past. You have your bulk excavation volume and your projected daily rate that you're hauling off. And again, week to week, we track on the graph here, projected volume in blue, what they should be excavating and hauling off site weekly versus in red, what they're actually doing. So again, this gives us an idea of where we're at week to week, and if we need to have meetings to talk about acceleration, working Saturdays, etc. So I can share this with you guys after the meeting today if you're interested, or you, like I said, you might already be doing this, but this has helped me track myself so I know where the project's at to ensure we're going to be on time. And same thing with shoring, same methodology. So understanding the scope, verifying the latest drawings, knowing your lineal footage to be drilled, and then breaking that down into the chart. And again, same discussions week to week with the contractors, gathering the data. Yeah, that's the only way it works for me. Same type of chart, footage to be drilled per day, actual per day, summarized per week, plotted on the graph. You'll see obviously throughout the job that there's down days for the drill rigs while they're moving, while the excavation contractor is trimming panels. So that we take that into account, and eventually it averages out that they hit the projected footage per day, but knowing that there will be some zero production days from the excavation side as well as the drilling side. Pretty straightforward, guys. I don't know if there's anyone has any questions out there. Feel free to ask.
Hey, Luca, I just got a quick question for you. So
Yeah.
with regards to, feet drilled per day or volume excavated and hauled off site, what typically should we be looking for from subcontractors, or should we be writing line items into our Appendix B to ensure that we are getting, reports back from the dump sites and whatnot? Is that something, that's typical in the industry? Would a subcontractor ever try and withhold that information from us?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to be billing per month on a volume being excavated and hauled off and a footage of shoring being drilled. So it's in their best interest to give you that information. They know exactly where they are every day with volumes. And yeah, we should be writing that into our Appendix B scope of work as well, saying we request weekly updates. And furthermore, the superintendent should have a log as well, how many trucks leave per day. So we know exactly where the site's at.
Okay.
And then it's up to the site team to ensure it's being managed properly and the information's being pulled.
Gotcha.
Just to add on to that as well, should we be expecting to see something specific from the subcontractors? So not just truck logs. Like, should we be getting a summarized list, like a nice cleaned up list from the subcontractor? And again, like Shane mentioned, that's something that we can put in our Appendix Bs.
Yeah.
But almost give them an example saying, hey, this is what we're expecting, opposed to just receiving truck logs on what's going out.
Yeah, I mean, we could put in our schedule of values for the job, we could put a separate appendix showing this is how we want the weekly log to look like. I mean, I'm used to just getting hand scratch dates with volumes. Really, it could be that simple. And then we enter it into our own data sheet, right, for discussion purposes.
Yeah.
But we could present it in any way we want, and we can tailor that so everyone uses the same form across the board for sure.
Okay. One other question. Do you have this, like everything that you're showing on the screen here, do you have a template of this that we're going to try to
I got a
implement?
Google Sheets here template, how I produced this as a sample. This isn't a past job. I just made up a sample for the presentation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Karina, I'm assuming that's something that you'll be able to kind of roll out to the projects.
Yeah, I'll get it from Luca and we'll put it in the ETRO way and provide a link for everyone.
Perfect.
Yeah, Blair.
Just wondering, do you guys, how do you track if you have to change from your standard anchor to EBO? And also, how do you track anchor failures? Is that on your schedule or is it just a note?
No, so a change in anchor is still, what we could do is add the footage to the overall to calculate what the average should be for day. But this is more so to ensure that you're on track to finish the job in the 3 or 4 or 5 months that's been set out. Changing from conventional to EBOs, that's a price change, obviously, which we don't track on the footage, but we can incorporate it somehow. And then, yeah, additional anchors, we just add a line item, but that would also be updated in a delay claim or extra days with the owner that we could insert in here as well. Our duration would just extend if there are failures.
Thank you.